Jennifer was right. Hair down, glasses. I don't know if some of you are aware of this, but I see that a number of you like to guess what my hair and I'll have glasses on before a stream starts. It's a fun game. I like it. And Jennifer got it right. So it's very nice to see everybody. Michael, I saw that this was the first ever live stream you've been able to participate in. Michael Kirby, that's fantastic. Jerome, thank you for gifting a membership. Jerome consistently gifts a membership every now and then, and it's very kind of them. Hey, Michael Kirby. Oh, Michael Kirby, I see you're here. My pleasure, Devin. I thank you for your kind comment. That's why I retweeted it. Yeah, that's right, Kelsey, we just started. I know that the picture is a little dark. One of the downsides of shooting in front of a window is that I am at the mercy of the weather. And as you can see, it is a bleak and dark day here in New York City. That's very generous of you, Kevin. Thank you. All right, so we're going to go through these stories. No flash spoilers. If I catch you doing a flash spoiler, you'll not only forget a timeout, I will forever hide you from the channel. None of your comments will ever be seen again. So keep that in mind. Hey, Tina. Welcome back. So, as always, please keep your comments to the topic at hand. And if you ask a question, particularly if you do a super chat, and you do it while I'm talking about the story, I might not be able to answer it. So please keep that in mind and hold those super chats until I open up each story to discussion. And then, of course, at the very end of the day, the very end of the stream, I'll do 10 minutes of Ask Me Anything. So if you have something you want to ask me that doesn't pertain to what we're discussing, don't worry about it. Well, you'll have an opportunity at the end of the stream. Josh, I am seeing No Hard Feelings next week, and I can review it on Wednesday when the review embargo lifts. There is a sneak peek on Saturday for general audiences, but even if I were to go and see that, I can't break embargo, so I couldn't. And I'm seeing The Flash again this weekend. Anyway, Bryce says that I had 2 aunts pass away this week. Oh, no. So I'm glad to be able to catch a live. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Bryce, but I'm glad it seems like you had a good relationship with them. Dakari, thank you for gifting a membership. Jander, also thank you for gifting a membership. That's funny, Matt. I'm glad your child liked the movie, though. All right, so everybody, you're very kind to give Bryce your condolences. Hey, Danny. All right, let's get started, and this is where I'm going to start maybe not answering all your questions until the Q&A. So, Franco, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. By the way, I apologize that I wasn't able to do 3 streams this week, but it's very busy. As you might have noticed, I didn't even get to cover Black Mirror because they didn't give out screeners in advance. And in fact, as we speak, I have another Flash video cooking in the oven. Basically, it's rendering to go up later today. Also, I am at the mercy of the 3 notifications per 24 hours. That has been really, really tough on me. And so I don't want to release a video if you can't get a notification because it seems to, it doesn't reach, it doesn't work for all the effort that I put into it. So it's tough. All right, Vincent, are you ready to start the first story? Look at Vincent trying to boop us into the next story. All right, let's do it. Hey, Owen. All right, here we go. Boop. Oh, what a boop. The boop heard round the world. The Thursday night box office numbers for The Flash, where we finally start to get some idea as to how this movie is performing. And it ain't good. Some of the trades are trying to put a cherry on top of this poop sundae, but so far it does seem to stink. So The Flash came in with $9.7 million on Thursday night. And now they've readjusted their expectations. It'll maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed, come in around 80 million. If it doesn't come up with 100 million opening weekend, that's going to be a massive disappointment, particularly since every major celebrity, and this will teach celebrities to leverage their cachet on movie recommendations, Tom Cruise and Stephen King and James Gunn, and I still feel to some degree because of the political climate that might have hurt the film a little bit. I talked about that recently on Movie Math, that animation seems to be doing particularly well because it doesn't have anybody to offend or upset anybody that's involved. All right, so what does this match? So Venom opened with around 10 million on its Thursday night, and Aquaman did a little less with 9 million. So, and both of those movies did quite well. Venom did around 800 million worldwide, and Aquaman did $1 billion. So is The Flash going to be like those? Is it a new Venom and Aquaman, right? Well, this is interesting. Both of those movies did the bulk of their business overseas. Venom did 75% overseas. Aquaman 2, Aquaman, 70% overseas. So 75 and 70%. That's very, very unusual. Bella, I can't help but see your comment. I'm glad your first chat is a member. But usually the domestic and international split is about 60-40 range. So and if it's 50-50, that's surprising. But that's a very strong movie domestic that can be 50-50. That's like Top Gun Maverick, Black Panther. Those films did extremely well domestically. That's right, you guys. These are Fast and Furious level percentages. The Flash and DC. Has DC become a Fast and Furious level franchise? I mean, Warner Brothers will take that overseas cash. And who knows, maybe The Flash will be an international play. Let's see what the international weekend looks like. But domestically, this is pretty freaking bad. So, and also what's worse is that it's being reported that at least from opening night, only 60% would recommend it. Now, I would suspect a lot of diehard fans turned up to see the movie opening night. And so some of them might have an axe to grind, or, some people are hoping for this movie to fail. DC created a situation where passion and tensions are high. But I hope maybe those numbers will go up a little bit as the general public starts to check out the movie, if they even do. So what's the problem here? We'll have to think about it. I'll definitely do a deep dive on Sunday in movie math. But our options are stuff like, is it Miller? Is Ezra Miller the issue? As I'm sure some of you think is the case. Is it that just people are tired of DC? Oh, Elemental Alien did like 3.5. It's like, talk about water going down the drain, man. A puff of smoke. All right, so anyway, is it Ezra Miller? Bafe says it's superhero fatigue. I'll ask you guys what you think it is. Poll time, baby. All right, poll. Why do you think The Flash is flopping? Also, the VFX. I think it's the VF. I understood what he was trying to do, and Andy Muschietti actually confirmed it. But a lot of you don't believe it or don't care. You still think it looks like crap. All right, so what do you think of the Flash? Why do you think the Flash is flopping? Ezra Miller, DC drama, superhero fatigue. We can't say it's the VFX because people wouldn't know that. Oh, I think the video's done. Is it done? 1 second. That was very slow and weird, but it looks like it's done. All right, I'll be posting that later today. Superhero VFX or a perfect storm of all three. I think it's probably the bottom. What a disaster. We shall be talking about quite a bit on Movie Math on Sunday. And I'm going to have to really work crazy on Sunday because it's Father's Day and we got plans for my dad. Hey, Franco. Yeah, Franco, it's going to be juicy. All right, let's see here. Okay, so we're going along. Now, as some of you have pointed out, last night, Andy Muschietti was confirmed to be the director of Brave and the Bold. And we're like, thanks, we all done knew a week ago. I covered it on the live, although I wasn't as enthusiastic about Muschietti directing until after I'd seen the film. It wasn't last week. It was like 2 weeks ago because I saw the Flash a while ago at this point. Hey, Armando. So, yeah, it was terrible timing. The Andy Muschietti announcement came out late last night. Nobody covered it because we'd already covered it when the rumor broke about like 2 weeks ago. And also they buried it like at 7 or 8 o'clock at night on a Thursday. It was ridiculous. And also the movie's not doing well. So nobody's going to be like, hooray, the director of this giant flop is taking over Batman Brave and the Bold. I wonder if it'll stick. I don't know if they should have said. I think they got so little play out of the announcement. As I said when I first covered it, it wasn't worth the potential damage to the Brave and the Bold when Muschietti potentially gets yanked off the project to risk it. See what the opening weekend for the movie was first, and then you can confirm it. And I have seen some commentary that so far, I don't know, James Gunn, who, as I said, was a poor man Zack Snyder, seems to be hiring a lot of the same people that DC and Walter Hamada had hired before. All right, so let's have some comparisons to some other Thursday night box offices just to give you an idea. Savarug says, how is this movie a flop? Well, it's really doing poorly out of the gate. If it does under 100 million, that's going to be a colossal disappointment for the studio. Now, Transformers came in about $1 million less at 8.8. That opened with just 60 million. Quantumania, to show you what a comic book movie is supposed to perform like on Thursday night, Quantumania did 17.5 million on its Thursday night. And to just remind you, The Flash did 9.7. So that's like 8 million more. And Quantumania only went on to do 105 because it was severely front-loaded. Now, Spider-Verse was a shocker in that it was able to match Quantumania basically with 17.3, but it was so strong throughout the weekend it powered itself all the way to 120. Super Mario was a juggernaut on Thursday night with 26.5 million. Oh my God! And went on to 146. Well, even Jurassic World Dominion, I thought that for sure might have gotten off to a slow start, but Jurassic World Dominion opened with 18, more than Quantumania, more than Spider-Verse. People love those dinosaurs. I do too. And that opened at 143.3. If this opens anywhere close to Black Adam, what would have been the point of this whole thing? What would have been the point of embarrassing Dwayne Johnson like that? And I still think, based on what I've heard from James Gunn, I still think Dwayne Johnson's idea of everybody fighting each other was a better idea. At least that could have ended the DC space. It's pretty bad. It's really, really bad. Let's see what your vote is. And then I'll open it up to questions. All right, so everybody agrees with me. 56% that it's a perfect storm of all three. Ezra Miller, 21% though. DC drama at 15%. And, I said superhero VFX. I got distracted. I should have said fatigue. Maybe that would have changed the vote. I'm sorry. But yeah, 5%. That's my bad. I apologize. All right, so any thoughts on this before I move to the next story? I mean, any questions? Thoughts, questions? Let's discuss. Reese says, is Aquaman 2 an automatic flop? I think it might be. Do you guys want to redo on the poll? I don't know, Google. Google, that's that. Poll again? Google, that's just you again. Owen Lewis says, I just wanted a brand new DC. Let's see here. The Marks Show. I love the movie too. But I saw somebody say, I just don't believe any of you. And I told you before, I think that it's hard to believe The Flash is good unless you see it for yourself. Let's hold on. If you've seen The Flash, by the way, if you are watching and you're not a member, anyone can vote in polls. What did you think? Loved it. It was good. Meh. And then, and so just so everyone can vote, I didn't see it yet. All right. I suspect a lot of people still yet to see it, even though they had all the screenings in the world. Ben 10, I'm glad you like polls. Let's see. I missed some questions here. I'm going back. Hold on. Here we go. Jack Robertson says, honestly, James Gunn just turned me off. Yeah, I think that's a big thing there. I think James Gunn, I said from the very beginning, he was way too active on social media. Not only active, but extremely aggressive. And I think that's made some people, not care for him. And so I think that's an issue. You want to cast as wide a net as possible when you're trying to work in a big space like blockbusters. That's why Kevin Feige never talks to anybody. Let's see here. Wicco Mad says the crappiest, and he's still having trouble even now. The crappiest part of all of this is that we finally had all the players on the board just to start all over from scratch. Yeah, I felt that a little bit. I was like, well, they finally had a good movie, and now we just have to leave it. Let's see here. Sean Turner says general audiences don't care about the Snyderverse. I don't know. Maybe they do. I don't know. Let's see here. Toon Dude 19 says it's just nice for the movie to be out and we can get past DC's big controversy. We're almost clear of it all. I don't know if we are, Toon Dude 19, because Marvel's in the controversy situation now too. Superhero fatigue, I think, is exacerbating it. Nacho Flores says, I think Muschietti messed up by saying the horrible CGI was his choice. You can fix the CGI, but you cannot fix taste. Yeah, but I think there's no excuse for why after working on this movie for years, it looks the way it does, unless it was intentional. Alexander Padilla says, Grace, do you think Sasha Calle will get work off of this performance? I would love to see more Latino talent thrive. I'm not sure, Alexander. I think her role is small, And she hasn't gotten a lot of press off of the movie either, unfortunately, because of the Ezra Miller situation. So to be honest with you, I don't know if she'll get more work. Let's see here. And Al Watch says, I went last night with my mom, with my normal friend, and he asked me where the Batman stuff fits in. I told him it was its own thing and safe, but then went back on safe because is anything really safe at DC? But that's exactly a good example of the problem. Like, oh, Bumblebee, thanks for gifting the memberships. It was really confusing for your friend, right? Smart Girl says, not gonna watch, even with your good review. That's okay, Smart Girl. I suspect a lot of people will check it out on digital when it becomes available, and then eventually on Max for no extra cost. And I think you'll be surprised, some of you, how good the movie is. But you guys are taking a stand for other stuff right now, and I respect that. Capes and Tights says, no offense to you or anyone that liked the movie, but I thought it was pretty bad. I can't see it doing well at all. That's fine. Is this like another Batman v Superman situation again? Maybe. I thought that movie was genius, but I knew it wasn't going to do well because people had such a bad reaction to it. And that's another problem. I think that DC, it's fragmented its audience to such a degree that nobody can agree in a large contingent as to what we want. And so it's really all over the place, and they can only really appeal to a small group of people at a time, unfortunately. John Camara says, I think too bad James Gunn can't do any writing right now because he can't fix his script. John Camara says, I think The Flash would do better if it wasn't so overhyped by the studio. Being billed as the best movie since The Dark Knight, but it's getting middling critic reviews. Yeah, that was pretty bad. I'm trying to catch up here. Hold on, I'm coming along here. Writer Boy, thank you for gifting a membership. Billy Zane for Lex Luthor, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Good to see you back. This is your zone. Power Crystal says the trailers revealed too much. Oh, you thought so? I thought the trailers revealed hardly anything. And so I thought there were a lot of surprises. Oh, so many questions coming in. Oh my goodness, so many questions. I love your enthusiasm, but I'm falling behind in answering them. Hold on. Piano Man, I was just listening to Billy Joel last night. Piano Man 1313 says, hi Grace, do you think Ezra's appearance at the premiere is a smart choice or a problematic choice? Well, what were they going to do? Not have a premiere? Not have them show up? I think there's nothing they can do. Jay Schrumpelstiltskin says, just jumping in. Hope everyone is having a great Friday. Just wondering if you saw a small light. I did not see a small light, but that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me see what I missed. Oh my goodness. Enter 41 says, in my opinion, the familiarity Warner is trying to sell us with these DC characters is unearned and asks the audience to fill in the blanks way too many times. Oh, really? I really liked it. I thought they got me. I was like, Nostalgia City, baby. Tim O'Doc says, I'm only seeing the movie because my boyfriend wants to see it for Michael Keaton nostalgia. Well, I hope you have a good time. Let's see here. That's easy for you to say. Using my free to call out Two-Faced Fairy for continually spamming. Not sorry. That's funny. I will keep an eye on this. Two-Faced Fairy, someone called you out. If I see you spamming, I won't ban you, but I will put you in a timeout. Let's see here. I think I got everybody. Simon Michael says, seems like a perfect blessing in disguise for Gunn. Is it? He really put a lot of himself on the line with it. I don't think it is. I feel like I missed somebody's comment. Hold on. Oh, I don't think that I did. Okay, I'm at the bottom here. Let me see. Graymo says, loved it. There's a lot of pre-Flash hate online. I think comic book movies in general need a year break. Yeah, people are really kind of gunning for these things, and I agree. Hey, Christopher, thanks for joining. Enter for none. Oh, I already answered that. Okay, so let me see what the poll is, and then we'll move on to our next story. All right, hold on. Oh, look at all the hearts coming up from the bottom. I love it. I love you guys too. Jake Van Norden says, the use of Keaton was so perfectly well executed. I agree. I love the movie. I can't wait to see it again. Aiden says, will Flash outperform Transformers? I sure hope so, but if it even performs like Transformers, that's going to be disappointing for them. Let's see here. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe if you feel like it. All right, hold on. So what were the poll results? 61% of you have yet to see The Flash. That's a pretty good group. 15% loved it. 12% only felt it was good, but only 10% felt it was meh. So 2/3 of the people who saw it basically thought it was at least okay. So that's it's got that going for it. They can put on the poster. It's okay. M. Fid says, month is too crowded. Have other movies I would rather see. Yeah, I think it's a real problem. I mean, you think this is bad. Wait when Indiana Jones comes out. It could be pretty tough. Oh, look at Robbie trying to boop us on to the next story. Dre Film says, Blue Beetle will be the next real test. Yeah, some people think it's going to flop, but some people think it's going to do real good. I need to see another trailer. Hey, Diego in Spain. All right, so let me go on to Jake Van Norden says, what was Transformers opening day in comparison? Jake, the Thursday night for Transformers was 8.8. It's like a million less. All right, so let's go on to the next story, everybody. All right, keep that enthusiasm going. I love it. Boop. Denzel said, just kill Barry. No, you can cast somebody else as Barry. That's the whole point of the multiverse. All right, don't kill Barry. Let him live on. Oh, I don't want to give anything away. All right. We're on the second story. All right, so speaking of Venom, we talked about its opening weekend and how it did very well internationally, more so than domestic. Disney booked a lot of dates just earlier this week, but Sony booked 2 Marvel dates just yesterday, so I wanted to discuss it. So Sony booked, as you can see, November 8th, 2024 and June 27th, 2025. And pretty much everybody kind of feels that this is for Venom 3 and Spider-Man 4. Tom Holland says script ideas are going around. They can't work on it anymore. Robbie says too much Tom Holland. He is taking a break. He feels too. Not only is he taking a break from being overexposed, but Tom Holland is taking a break from bad reviews. I think the crowded room broke him. I think that after Cherry, I think he's like, wait a minute, am I going to have a career outside of Marvel? And the rest of us are like, we're not sure, Tom. Maybe you should pick some better projects. I think he might be, I don't know if he's going to, I loved him in The Impossible. I think he's a very good actor. However, I think he's so melded with Spider-Man at this point, I don't know if people can see him as anything else. Oh yeah, the Astaire picture. Kay Walton, that's a great comment. He's doing an Astaire biography that Amy Pascal is producing, and he's, of course, a dancer by trade. That's how he got his start in Billy Elliot, I believe the Broadway show, or the London stage one. But I think he could be really, really good. I think he's a wonderful choice for that. You think he's a terrible actor, Ricardo? I think he's actually a quite good actor, but I don't think he has any range. And I also think that he doesn't understand who he is. I said this when I reviewed Cherry. We're on a little bit of a tangent here. But when I reviewed Cherry, I said, for some reason, Tom Holland thinks he's like a serious actor, like Johnny Depp or Jared Leto, like he's some kind of chameleon. He's Tom Hanks. Tom Holland needs to realize that he is Tom Hanks. Michael J. Fox is the take that he did for Peter Parker. But Michael J. Fox didn't work enough, tragically, because of his Parkinson's, to really do an identity. That's right, Simi. He should be doing rom-coms like Sleepless in Seattle. I mean, Lennox, Johnny Depp was a very serious actor for a while. I know that he has unfortunately become a bit of a joke today, but a sad joke. But anyway, Tom Hanks. That's what Tom Holland. You like the tangent, Sierra? That makes me happy. So Tom Holland doesn't. I think it's very important to be self-aware. You don't help yourself. I mean, you can have goals, but at a certain point, you have to be like, why is my goal not working? And maybe it's because you're not self-aware. So it's very important to realize who you are. And Tom Holland is not a serious, dramatic actor. He's the Tom Hanks. He's the new Tom Hanks, and that's what he should be focused on, those kind of roles. Just like we've seen other actors look at the resumes of actors they feel they're like, Timothée Chalamet with Johnny Depp, Robert Pattinson with Leonardo DiCaprio. Tom Holland should be going through Tom Hanks' biography with a fine-tooth comb and trying to find similar style projects. Like, where's his Forrest Gump? Something like that. Maybe a drama where he plays a lawyer and helps somebody out, of course, in Philadelphia, Tom Hanks was the client. But, that kind of stuff. That's what he should be doing. But anyway, he says that Spider-Man 4 is coming together pretty good. They have some good ideas. And as you might recall from No Way Home, when I covered it, I loved the ending of No Way Home. I thought some of the movie was like a Saturday Night Live sketch, but at the very end of No Way Home, I thought that was the most Spider-Man-y from the comics that Tom Holland had ever been. And I was very excited to see him get to finally do a pure Spider-Man movie that was maybe a little less MCU-y. Although Tom Holland is not interested if he's not MCU-y, which is interesting. It's made him a superstar, but at what cost? All right, so let's look at these two dates and try and guess which one is which. Now, I'll just tell you up front, I'm pretty sure that Venom 3 is November 8th, 2024, and I think Spider-Man 4 is June 27th, 2025. So let's go over these two dates and why that's my guess. So Venom first, Spider-Man second, just for you keeping track. So the first two Spider-Man movies from Tom Holland opened July 7th. Oh, there might be one of that, like what, that movie with Dakota Johnson. I think they should throw that in the trash can, to be honest with you. Whatever they're doing with Madam Web and that first look that leaked online of Craven, just throw it in the trash. Don't even open it. Don't spend the money to promote it. Just please save us all. I don't want to do it again. El Muerto, that's right, Mika. All these movies, nobody wants them. Like, they're such a bad idea. I can't believe that they're moving forward with it. I didn't think you could mess up Craven as badly as they seem to have. He has a fur collar. I don't care if it's July or if he's in the middle of a jungle. He's got a fur collar. And the fact that he doesn't have a fur collar and has some kind of weird S&M leather vest, I didn't even know what I was looking at. It was bad. All right, so anyway, we'll see. I'm sure they're going to debut that trailer at Comic-Con, so we can all laugh then. And it's be like, why, Sony, why? All right, Amy Pascal, she takes her capital, that she gets so much capital from Spider-Verse and the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, and then she just flushes it down the toilet immediately. She doesn't do anything with it. All right, so the first two Tom Holland movies for Spider-Man came out July 7th and July 2nd. And this date, June 27th, is basically a 4th of July date. They open 4th of July movies often before a 4th of July because all the people who are promoting it want to go on vacation, including the people who work in publicity, which is why Indiana Jones had its premiere ridiculously early. I don't know why they had that. I think they still had it too early, quite frankly. Indiana Jones is going to run through its whole PR cycle just in time for No Hard Feelings, which is ridiculous. And it's not giving No Hard Feelings any room to breathe. So the whole thing is dumb. That's the other problem with an overcrowded month. There's no room to promote or discuss. People are just seeing the movies every weekend, and either you're somebody who does that or you're not. All right, so No Way Home, though, did come out December 17th, but December 17th is the Avatar Star Wars date. That's a hot date. That's not what this is. This is the first weekend of November, and that is not the same. Now, Venom, in comparison, came out October 2nd, the first one, and then September 30th, and this is very similar to that. So that date fits with the Venom dates. But as one of you, as Mika and others said, we could be looking at El Muerto, and Craven already has. Craven's isn't that supposed to come out this year? Oh God. All right. Well, at least it'll be fun, joking about it. But anyway, Madam Web. This could be Madam Web and El Muerto, and that would be horrible. All right. Does anybody have any questions about this? Abdullah says they should stick it in December. I think Disney has that locked up with Avatar and Star Wars movies. Kaylin, I know if you put your chat early, I might not see it as I've said. Let me see if I can still have it up here. Oh, I don't have it anymore. You got to be careful with the timing on the super chats. Look, Christopher wants to go to the Disney drama. Just hold your horses in 1 minute. Sean Turner says, I'm excited to see Juno Temple and Venom. I'm excited, kind of. Venom 2 was so bad. I loved Venom 1, and I championed it. I remember still to this day at the press screening, I was sitting next to another female critic, and when the movie was over, we both turned to each other and were like, are we crazy or was that movie good? And we were like, it was great. So we had a great time. But there was no defending Venom 2. It was just so bad. I was like, Andy Serkis, I was also defending you as a director. That's right, Simi. Madam Web does seem like a career killer for everyone involved. It looks so bad. Vlad says, after the end of No Way Home, I was kind of excited for a Christmas-themed Spider-Man adventure. That was pretty great when he swung by the Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center. But, I think that also pigeonholes a movie, though. So that's a little bit difficult. And they kind of did Christmas a little bit already in No Way Home. Zach on YouTube says, could one of these dates be Spider-Verse? No, some of you pointed out to me that in animation, One of the last things they do is record the voices, which makes no sense to me. How are you going to animate the performance or do the mouth movements? But okay, whatever. I mean, when I watch Disney behind the scenes, they do the voice recordings early, often, so that the animators can model after that sometimes. But anyway, apparently Spider-Verse maybe will make its date, and that's already set for next year. In around the same, I think March, right? Michael with no A says it would be cool to have Spider-Man 4 be similar to Spider-Man in Amazing Friends since he lost his, and in college, and introduce Iceman and Firestar. Maybe. I want to see him more as a loner and being more adult. I am so sick and tired of Peter Parker being in school. I just can't take it anymore. He hasn't been in school in the comics for a very long time, yet he has been in school in the movies for decades, and I'm just sick of it. Hey, Jerome, love you. Thank you. I'm glad you like my glasses. You have a collection of elaborates. What's an elaborate? My glasses are Tom Ford. Is elaborates a kind of glasses? Let's see here. You guys all want to move on to the Disney drama. Okay, let's move on to the next story. Mika, I don't know. I think Olivia Wilde's Spider-Woman is I don't know. Amy Pascal teased a bunch of stuff. She was like, maybe I'll do an animated Spider-Woman movie. I don't know, man. It's going to be amazing. Tyler Z says, no spoilers, but the Madam Web plot leak sounds fascinating to me. I've heard that leak too, Tyler. Basically, they found a way to work Peter Parker into it. But I don't know. It seems like a streaming movie to me. But Sony doesn't have a streaming service. Interesting. All right, let's get on to the next story of the day, and then we'll do an Ask Me Anything section. Boom, baby! Third story of the day, more Disney drama. Now, this is a business drama, but it's actually pretty significant. I think that people might not realize it based on the headline because not many people know who Christine McCarthy is, but allow me to fill you in. Christine McCarthy is the CFO at Disney. Whenever they're on the earnings call that we like to listen to, she's the one who often will introduce it and take some of your questions. She's quite influential on the board, and she, for instance, backed Bob Chapek, and backed him from being fired the first time around. But then when Bob Chapek really started to make a mess, Christine McCarthy infamously turned on him and brought Bob Iger. She was instrumental in bringing Bob Iger back as CEO. So she has really been quite the kingmaker at Disney. But it seems that she has gone full Lady Macbeth, and now she's being forced to take a family medical leave. Apparently her husband is maybe a little bit sick, but people are saying that's not the reason for why she has left. She will be on the payroll. Why is everyone saying Jerry? Jerry from Succession. That's hilarious. That's right. That's right. She is kind of like Jerry. That's pretty funny. That's very funny. She's a very Jerry type figure. She doesn't actually, she's like a good soldier, but she had to go. And I suspect the reason she had to go, some people are saying because she was bumping heads behind the scenes. However, I think there's just a mass general public panic, a mass general panic at Disney right now that nothing seems to be going right. And they can't get out of the slump. I'm even concerned about it. They can't get out of their slump. So I think you're going to see a lot of changeover just to try and make things somehow maybe get better. I think they have a really bad situation. So let's talk about that. So the movies are continuing not to perform. Elemental is shocking. Ms. Mika pointed out she agreed with Bob Chapek to fire Peter Rice, who Bob Chapek feared would replace him. But then he only lasted a few weeks longer. And his Bob Chapek, remember he fired Peter Rice in such a horrible way, and then he was fired in an absolutely horrible way. I believe he was going to a Disney event at the time, some kind of concert, an Elton John event, and he got fired on the way over when he was in the car. All right, so anyway, so the movies, horrible flops. You think, like Indiana Jones coming down the pipeline? It does not look good. Disney Plus is hemorrhaging cash, just hemorrhaging money. The theme parks, Universal is pacing ahead of some of the other Disney theme parks outside of the Magic Kingdom. So that's very embarrassing. And I'm seeing massive discounts for the hotel rooms not only over the summer, but into the winter and the holiday season. That's very bad to have those kind of discounts. And don't forget, Bob Chapek went in and redid all the hotels and made them look cheaper as his namesake. He's like, I shall make everything cheaper so that everyone knows this was done by Bob Chapek. All right. Then Bob Iger, of course, has come back to try and fix everything. And he was at the Apple presentation just recently, and he went on stage and he said they had a big deal at launch for Apple Vision Pro. But instead of the stock going up, I remember some people pointing out that the stock went down, like the moment he went out on the stage. Actually, I have to tell you, Dylan, I think Wish is going to be a flop. We'll see, but I think Wish is going to be a bomb. And so what can they do to get the stock to go up? That's the real issue. The stock just will not go up. Iger left it when he handed the reins over to Bob Chapek, about 50 points higher. And it did very well at the beginning of the pandemic. But it's just been an absolute disaster. Oh, you guys can hear the thunder? That's awesome, Lennox. Yep, it's gonna rain. So I think they have a real problem. And then, of course, there's the layoffs. Okay, that they're in the midst of, really, and part of that was they got rid of the Lightyear creatives because that movie did so poorly. Don't fire Peter Sohn, though. Peter Sohn's great. He was the voice of Socks the cat. He's working hard. I think there's hope for Elemental maybe on Disney Plus. I don't want to see Peter Sohn get fired. I don't think he messed up, to be honest with you. I think it's more of a problem with the Disney situation overall, and that also just the way the movies are right now. I mean, I think he delivered. I think it's a good movie. And I thought Lightyear was pretty good, but I could understand how Lightyear was a disappointment to Buzz Lightyear fans. And I wouldn't want to watch Lightyear again, whereas I definitely would want to watch Elemental again. Yeah, I think the marketing team for Disney's doing a pretty poor job, and I'm surprised that there's no ramifications over there. Because I think that a lot of this stuff's poorly advertised. Like, I don't think they've released one good poster for Indiana Jones, in my opinion. They all look pretty bad. And I think there's more to come. I think you're going to see more changeover. I think you're going to see more flipping of execs. And I think they need to do it because they have a really big problem there. And you know what? It's going to get worse because they're going to be the focal point of at least the upcoming Republican primary. Because Ron DeSantis is going to run on that. He's going to run on Disney, and he's grossly misrepresenting the situation. I saw an interview with him on Twitter where people were pointing out that he said all he wanted to do was say you couldn't use pronouns in school. And you're like, how can you sit there and just say such a huge lie that's so easily refutable? The chutzpah on that is sad. It's not even funny anymore because it's just so sad. So Ron DeSantis is now trying to pitch his bill as only banning pronouns from school, and that Disney then had a conniption fit, and that Disney's unreasonable. So I think that it's just going to continue to get worse. And the more that, and I see a lot of anger from some people at Disney, and Ron DeSantis is getting mileage out of that. And as we saw from Trump, when a politician finds something that gets them mileage, even if it's damaging to society overall or a lie, they will go with it anyway to court that same base. And so I think you're going to see that continue to unfortunately happen. So it's going to get worse before it gets better for Disney. G. Karasakis says, hard to see anything positive for Disney when they've basically declared their disdain for half the country. But I don't think that's true. I think that maybe they let some of their creatives get a little bit out of control and start to drive the train. And I think that's a problem. I think that Bob Chapek has caused so much damage to the Disney brand. I think we're only just seeing the tip. It's like an iceberg. We first just saw the tip, but I think we're only starting to see how horrible it is underneath the surface. It's just really, really bad. Let's see here. All right. So, I wouldn't fire Pete Docter. I would just not have him head up Pixar Animation. And I wouldn't fire Jennifer Lee, but I don't think she should head up Disney Animation. All right. Does anybody have any questions about? Well, I'll ask you guys in a poll how you feel about Disney. Let's do it. Maybe I shouldn't, but I'm going to do it anyway. How do you feel about Disney right now? Love Disney. I'm upset, but could come back. Let's see here. I'm upset, but could come back. Next is I'm done with Disney. And then I'm not in the Disney wars. You know, you might just not care. All right, let's see here. So there's the poll. And again, even if you aren't a member, anyone can vote in a poll. So if you're watching, feel free to vote and have your voice heard. I love Disney. I am a huge Disney fan, as many of you know. It's been a big part of my life the entire time. I just love it. Grew up on Disney. Continues to be a high point of my existence. But I do feel, from a business perspective, when I put my business hat on, they've made some major problems. And I think they have allowed themselves to become politicized. I think they were backed into a corner. I think it's horrible to ask Disney to abandon their LGBT employees who have been crucial. I mean, have you seen the Jafar sketch from Bo and Yang, where he said, if you take the gay out of Disney, you get Six Flags? Brilliant and accurate. That was one of the funniest things I ever heard. Hey, witness protection, Michael, thank you. That's very generous of you. I also loved his gift, and he said, when you open up Grindr on Main Street, your phone explodes. That's so funny. And there was a Pride night at Disneyland the other day, and it was really a beautiful event. I thought it was lovely that they did that. I think where Disney went wrong is it looked like they were prioritizing their LGBT customers over their other customers, instead of just trying to say everybody should be equal. Stop trying to be mean to some of our customers. That's right. Gavin Newsom, Levi, was campaigning there. Although I don't know if I gotta tell you, I don't think Gavin Newsom can win a general election. So I still think Biden is probably the best, not the most exciting choice, but probably still the best. I think the real goal is just not to upset anybody. And I think that Gavin Newsom sometimes goes too far in the other direction to court to try and offer himself as an alternative. Nobody's even reporting on the fact that Florida has a huge problem, so many problems. All right, so let's look at the poll. Okay. All right, so here we go. Oh, it's pretty split. Did you see that lightning behind me? Okay. Love Disney, 38% only. Oh no. 30% said I'm not in the Disney wars. That's a lot of you. That's a lot. 19% said you're upset, but you could come back. Oh, that's good. That's good. Don't go away. You don't want to miss all this goodness. Let's work it out, man. And then I'm done with Disney at 11%. I really hate the fact that this country is so divided right now. Although, as many people have pointed out, it's not something new for us, unfortunately. That's how bad the history books are. That it's, people only seem to remember the 1950s and 60s, which I got to tell you, were not great for a heck of a lot of people. Like a lot of people, including women. Unicorn. But of course, that was the heyday of Disney. And interestingly, Disney was responsible for shaping a lot of America's opinion of itself in the 1950s and 60s. I think some of it was a lie, but it was a beautiful lie that we all wanted to believe. But it's interesting. Riddick, thank you. That's very generous. Gamer on a Budget says, do you think Tina Huerta's drama might impact Disney? Well, let's see what happens. I've yet, he said he was going to take care of it and prove that it was incorrect, but I have not seen any proof. Right now, it's just a he said, she said situation. That's not the way to do it, T-Knock. Hey, Derek Williams. I shall meet you at the monorail. I love your name every time I see it. And that pizza looks delicious. Gavin Newsom is too manicured for a general. Those veneers aren't cutting it in the Midwest. Also, his wife was assaulted by Harvey Weinstein, but yet proceeded to then ask him for favors. Harvey Weinstein, even though he'd sexually assaulted her, she asked him for favors for her and her husband, like right after, for years. And he's just gonna be dead in the water when people point that out. I mean, it's just too easy. If I were his political opponent, I'd be like, oh yes, Gavin Newsom, step forward, please. I'm ready for you. I'm just gonna sucker punch him right in the face. Hey, Tristan. Let's see here. Jason Acker says, Disney did this themselves. You can support your employees without going to war with the entire political party. Yeah, well, Bob Chapek, I think, just didn't have the delicateness of Bob Iger to handle the situation. unfortunately. Bafe says, just when you think you're out, Disney pulls you back in. I sure hope so. They got to get the quality up on their projects, though, because that's how you pull people back in. And also, I think that they're overcharging in their parks. And I still love them, though. They're overcharging, and I'm like, here's some tough love, man. You're overcharging in your parks, and you ruined your fast pass system, and now everybody has to have their head buried in their phone to be able to navigate the park. And it's just an absolute disaster. But they're making too much money off of Genie Plus to do anything really about it. But they are going to change it. Away says, Q&A time. That's funny. All right, that's true. We are getting kind of ranty. All right. Yeah, Sophia, the Fast Pass situation is disgusting. And I mean it. Disgusting isn't even an overreaction. Sophia says, when a new Pirates movie, and only if it's got Johnny Depp in it, Sophia. If they don't put Johnny Depp in the next Pirates movie, don't even make it. It's just not going to be worth it. He at least has to have a cameo. He doesn't have to be a lead necessarily, but he better frickin' show up at one point. All right, Q&A time. All right, it's 2:22, so you can ask me anything you'd like until 2:32. Thank you very much for joining me today. We're having a good time today. This is a fun stream. Hey, Gabriel. Mika says Bambi thoughts. You know, I was talking to a producer friend of mine, and he really accurately pointed out that who wants to see realistic animals get shot and killed? And I was like, oh, that's dead in the water, man, or dead in the field, like Bambi's mother. Arun says, I didn't know I was a Diamond member. Oh, huzzah, Arun. Thoughts on rumors Warner Brothers desperately wants Nolan back. It's not a rumor, Arun. That was almost a story today. They confirmed it. And they want him back so badly, they cut him a multi-million-dollar check to say sorry for Tenet. They said no strings attached. But clearly they're like, come back. Regenerator says, when is your Indiana Jones review? I'm waiting to get a screening. The problem is that they had it at the most disgusting theater in the city. And I just really, especially for a movie that I don't think is going to do very well, I'm just not going to go there. So I have to wait for another screening. Or the Thursday night it opens. We'll see what happens. Abdullah says, Red the Blue Beetle is the first character to be introduced into the DCU. I don't know why they would say that. James Gunn confirmed that, but why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just say, let's see? And why isn't the first character his Superman, right? How does Blue Beetle kick off the new DC? And what if the box office is awful? What is he going to say then? He should stop putting himself in a box. Jeff says Disney is falling apart in way too many fronts and not getting anywhere in any of them. LGBT rights, cost of attending theme parks. That's true. Things will look better once they fix one of them. That's true, Jeff. Disney's not even doing well in any of these areas. Mars73 says, hi, Grace. And they're doing horrible LGBT representation. So, what are they fighting for? Mars73 says, hi, Grace. Why do you think Henry Cavill still has not become an A-list actor? Oh, it's because of what I told you, Mars73. And a lot of you wouldn't believe me, but I hope now you do. He has an absolutely awful reputation in Hollywood. Every time I talk to an industry friend of mine, they're like, oh, that guy. Nobody likes him, so nobody will hire him. Occasionally somebody will because they want to get the followers. But I think he's particularly in bad shape now that he couldn't get anyone to go to Black Adam. Everyone made it seem that putting Henry Cavill in Black Adam would be a magic bullet. But it didn't work. It totally missed the target, which was money. So I think that just sealed the deal. That was the last thing he had going, and it was ruined. Victor says, have you heard anything about a Nun 2 or The Exorcist sequel trailer? No, I have not. But probably when the next horror movie's coming out. Let's see here. Shahar says, thoughts on the Superman and Lois cast massacre? What's the point renewing the show? Oh, yes. So Superman and Lois, the show on the CW. By the way, Shahar, I'm so glad your dad's heart surgery worked out. Hooray! I'm so glad. Superman and Lois axed a number of their big-name talent supporting characters because they didn't want to pay them. At least the show's still on the air. Let's see if it's a deal breaker, but at least the main characters get one more seasons of paychecks. Gamer on a Budget says, since Warner Brothers owns Mortal Kombat, would owning the Street Fighter IP and doing a Disney Plus series or a movie be good for the company? No, Disney can't accurately do something like that. I don't think fighting games are for Disney. Gabriel Ray says, I'd love Iceman to be introduced in a Spider-Man movie. I hope they choose an LGBTQ actor to portray him to reflect that aspect of the character. Well, that's still pretty controversial with Iceman. I do wonder what Disney or Marvel will decide to do with the character because he is a core X-Men. But we'll see. It is a great character. But to me, Spider-Man is closer to Johnny Storm. Tristan says, any validity to the rumors that the Hulk movie rights have reverted to Disney? I have not seen anybody of really big confirm that. That has been a long-standing rumor. And if that were true, I guess that's why the Captain America Brave New World movie can exist, because it's got a bunch of Hulks in it. But it's pretty quiet, and I haven't heard any plans to do anything with the Hulk movie as of late anyway. Aaliyah says, why did the Emma Stone rumor blow up the cast for Fantastic Four? That's because they heard that Emma Stone wanted $20 million, and they all were like, why don't I get $20 million? So that's what happened. Harrison says, The Nun 2 is in some theaters now. The trailer, I saw it at mine randomly. Oh, that's great. Thanks for letting us know, Harrison. Okay, I'm really moving here on the questions. So many questions. Trying to get here. Daniel Perdomo says, have you seen the Flicks Brew House? Theater that serve, a lot of theaters serve food and alcohol now. But Daniel, no, I've never been to that one. It sounds like a cool name, though. Oh, thanks, Ross, for gifting a membership. All right, let me see if I missed anything. That's interesting. Will says Emma Stone is not worth $20 million. I think the issue is that after Cruella, Emma Stone didn't really want to do Fantastic Four, which is why she was willing to walk away from it. But she was like, all right, if you really want me to do Fantastic Four, kind of like an Elizabeth Taylor move, give me $20 million. And what's the problem? If they say yes, she makes 20 mil. If they say no, she doesn't have to do a project she doesn't want to. Jake says, do you have any Agatha tea? I just gave you Agatha tea about the Witch's Road past week. The musical lawyer says, as a gay man, a good chunk of my mental energy is taken up by the culture war. It's not a political game for us. That's unfortunate, but I can certainly understand your situation. It's unfortunate that has to be your situation. Proud of Disney for trying. I do think it's great that Disney tries, but I think at a certain point, the worse representation they do, they actually inflict damage. So it's like that's that Muppet song, some kind of help is, or no, what's a famous song? Some kind of help is the help that we can do without. I think that's a problem. Deshaun says, I'm nervously optimistic about Asteroid City. Any advice for first-time Wes Anderson viewers? Ooh, I don't know if I would start with that one, but it looks okay. I was going to go to a press screening on Tuesday, but now I have something else that has unfortunately blocked me from doing that. So I probably will only catch that on streaming. All right, let's see here. I saw some more stuff come in. Wicklemad knows the New York City theaters quite well. Randy says, if SAG doesn't strike, why aren't networks redoing live TV shows again with existing scripts, like when they did versions of All in the Family? No, it would not be okay. Oh, if SAG doesn't strike. I don't really know how much revenue that generates, to be honest with you. Jennifer says, no questions today. Just wanted to wish your dad a happy Father's Day. Oh, that's so kind of you, Jennifer. That's very nice of you. I hope you all have a wonderful Father's Day if you're able to celebrate. I'm going back here. Michael says, do you think Disney should stop making live-action movies and focus more on animation? No, I think they need all that. Writer Boy says, any Deadpool 3 tea? I'm still so hyped. Well, I'm getting nervous. I feel like we're getting to a situation where there's too many leaks, and you're going to know all of Deadpool 3, just like with No Way Home. And I don't want that to be the situation. So even though I know it, I'm trying not to give it to you, because I feel I think, part of you is going to be like, tell me anyway, Grace. But I think you're really going to regret it. Dancing Dog 60, thank you for the 5 memberships, gifting the 5 memberships. Two-Faced Fairy, I have not listened to the Barbie soundtrack yet, but I did see some video on TikTok where they had African-American women being turned into Barbie dolls, and they all looked amazing. I was like, you could sell every one of those dolls. Zach says, the best form of gay representation was in Deadpool 2. Representation is good, but we can't always rely on typical tropes like being in the closet. I think like the new Nimona animated movie that's coming out on the 30th looks really strong. And also recently, I thought that Ezra Miller in The Flash was good LGBT representation, quite frankly. And so it's a shame of all the drama that Miller has and controversy that Miller has clouded the movie with. All right, I think I got everybody there. Oh, look, Sion says, watching the stream while in line for Phantom Manor at Disneyland Paris, my favorite haunted mansion. Oh, that's awesome. I'm very excited about Haunted Mansion. That movie looks great. All right, hold on. Hold on. Oh, my goodness. All right, let me go catch up. Capes and Tights, I don't have any Batman 2T. Jesse the Good Witch, glad you just made it. Saw The Flash last night. You have complex feelings about it. Oh, I wonder which way you'll end up going. February says, Jennifer Lee officially not directing Frozen 3. It's the beginning of the end for her. I think that's a good call. I think she kind of messed up Frozen 2. I liked Frozen 2, but a lot of people did not. Jason says, you will never get people on your side by attacking them. It doesn't matter how hurt people are on one side. They still have to be the bigger people. Well, that's true, Jason, but I think both sides need to remember that. You know, let's not, I don't think some super conservatives can claim that they're under attack all the time when I feel to some degree that you started it. But, you know, I'm not saying we can't get back to being happy again. I would love for all of us to be able to be friends. And I'm just talking about super conservatives, not casual conservatives. Let's see here. Iceman 3000 says, as a local expert on Iceman, I love it, and a queer, he was always closeted. People who don't see that don't want to see it or genuinely don't understand. You know, Iceman, that's an interesting comment, and I think it would very much help if the creator of the original character or anyone who worked on it or an editor over the years confirmed that. But then if they don't, unfortunately, it's still just a fan theory, and it makes it harder. Although I would be very curious to see an article outlining that. I think that would be interesting. So if anybody has something like that, please DM me. Travis says, got here late today. Oh, hi, Travis. I always love to see you, but just wanted to say how I respect you and enjoy all your videos. Travis, thank you so much. You're always so kind. GAP says, lots of scandals. Oh, I'm over my time right now, it feels like. What's an SA scandal? See, I don't know what that means. Sorry. Kevin says, I feel that people keep asking for Agatha tea because The Witch's Road is a little more underwhelming of what we expected from a Wanda-esque show. It's true, Kevin, and I fear that it's not going to get much better. Oh, hey, Brett. I hope you and your partner have fun seeing The Flash this afternoon. M. Fid said, start with the Grand Budapest Hotel for Wes Anderson movies. I would agree. The Grand Budapest Hotel is phenomenal, and I also really like the Royal Tenenbaums and some of his earlier work. All right, let me do a couple quick shout outs, please. Oh, thanks for the sticker, Juan. And Jay says, Grace, what are your thoughts on Marvel watching how the Flash performs to decide on what to do going? I think that it's very smart, and I think it's not looking good for Jonathan Majors on this front either. Josh says, I saw the Flash last night and loved it. Lost my dad a few years ago to suicide. And related so much to Barry wanting to prevent his mother's death. The grocery store scene gutted me. Oh, I'm very sorry, Josh, but I'm glad that you got some kind of reassurance and pleasure from the movie, so that's great. The musical lawyer is at work and happy to have some BTT company. Aww. Haunted Autumn is in Minnesota waiting impatiently for Indy 5. Let's see here. Oasis, good use of emojis, but I'm not answering questions anymore. Mayor says, Grace, did you hear any tea about the new David Fincher movie? No, I did not, and I'm not answering questions. Let's see here. The Quasar says, I graduated with my, but thank you, Mayor, anyway. The Quasar says, I graduated with my bachelor's in cybersecurity. That is a cool degree. Let's see here. Ricardo says, making my partner watch the Resident Evil movies. He hates them. Well, then that's even nicer that he's willing to watch it with you. Two-Faced Fairy is sipping tea in London, while Reese is in Scotland about to listen to the Flash score. And Dan Coles is in London eating apple strudel. Oh, that sounds delightful. Ross Kiernan says, just home, going to rewatch the stream from the beginning. Excellent, Ross. And Desnizra says, hey, watching live in my bed. It's 1:35 a.m. here in Indonesia, but that also means it's the weekend for you already. Let's see here. Smart Girl says, I'm at work listening and enjoying, engaging as always, Grace. Thank you. And Allie says, cleaning my house on this rainy day in Ohio. It's also raining in Ohio. The whole country's getting wet. Danny says, I love your shirt, Grace. Thank you, Danny. I hope you have a great day, too. And Gabriel is about to go on vacation. That's wonderful. Well, Kish and Chips just got a haircut in Ohio. Is it raining where you are? Ricardo says, can you be live 24/7? What a sweet thing to say. Well, Ida Pita says, saw Flash and loved it. Husband was less impressed, but also liked it. seeing it tonight again with family and friends. Oh, that's awesome. Twice in one day. And then Blair says, making matcha and watching Captain Fantastic. Is that the Viggo Mortensen movie? That was pretty good. In Virginia Beach. Oh, you like it too. That's awesome. Let's see here. And Kiki says, avoiding this Houston heat. Ooh, I guess it could be worse, right? Let's see. And Rashad, from the rain I'm having. Although maybe I think I'd prefer heat to the rain. And Rashad said, at work at the spa. Yay, glad I could sneak in this live stream. It's raining in Vegas too. Oh my goodness. What? And Away says, finished school after a month long of exams. Whew, I don't know what to do anymore. Oh, you'll find something to do with yourself. Rejoice, it's the end of school. And then Fiction Fan says, Weatherman said it'll be raining all day tomorrow. On a Saturday. It's not supposed to rain here anymore, thank goodness, because I was pretty upset about that. All right, I better get going or I'm not going to be able to do the other stuff I need to today. But as always, I just love spending time with all of you. So thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you on, a video is going to go up tomorrow, actually. So there's a video later today, a video tomorrow afternoon that's already set to go. And then, oh boy, on Sunday it'll be movie math time. And boy, are we going to have a lot of juicy stuff to talk about. All right, see you soon. Bye.